Hello everyone. So if you watched my previous video where I picked up a lamp and a rug for this room, I was talking about how terrible these back cushions are for this couch. So this couch is that IKEA Frighten couch that everybody has, but it comes in horrible, ugly colors. I reupholstered it originally one time with a shiny blue fabric, but I didn't have enough fabric for the couch and the cushions, so I made the cushions green. It was very metallic looking, it didn't look good, it looked cheap, not what I was going for, so I reupholstered it again. And I was really inspired by Matilda Goad's home tour, where she shows a chaise in her living room that is blue ornate floral, and I loved the color palette, I loved the design, I wanted a couch like that. I could not find that fabric in my price range, so I found this one, which is weirdly very similar to hers, but red background. And I reupholstered the couch, and I did a really good job my second time around. I learned how to do piping all along the edges. I tried to match up the pattern. I wish I had that on film, but that was before I was doing videos of everything. It's totally possible to reupholster this. Reupholstering this couch only cost me like $250 and my time. But I never did the pillows because these pillows were falling apart. It's just like a polyester fill in it. So I was like, oh, I'll redo the cushions, I'll redo the cushions. 2 years later, I've never redone the cushions. So now that I put my living room together more, I need to redo the cushions. Could not find large, tall pillows or cushions that weren't stupidly expensive. And this is just a quick project that I want to do. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I literally got bed pillows that are really firm. I'm going to reupholster them, and I think it's gonna look really good. This isn't really a tutorial because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not like a trained seamstress in any way, but this is just what I did and what works for me. So I'm just gonna show you what I did and the results. So I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to lay out my fabric. I found with my previous times I've piped for upholstering pillows is I think about 3 to 4 centimeters or like 1.5 to 1.75 is the width you need for normal piping. This is 5mm piping. This is cotton piping. I just got this off Amazon, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark out lines on this and cut them out, and then I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch to close the piping. Okay, so disclaimer, I don't know if this is actually how you're supposed to do piping for a pillow, but it's what I've done in the past and it's what has worked for me. I prefer to do this on a zigzag stitch. I think it helps grab the fabric better and keep it nice and tight. I hold it so that it opens like a book, and that's how I run it through my machine because that's what's most comfortable for me, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then if you need to add length to the piping run you just did, I fold it 1/2 inch in. I grab my other strip, place it up against it, close this one up. Now you have the edge of your piping, and you can see it's actually fairly nice and tight in there, which I think always makes it look nicer. So if you could try to get your zigzag stitch as close to your cord as possible without actually sewing the cord. So just make as many cords as you need for pillows, and I'm either gonna need 3 or 4 of these pillows that I'm doing, so I'm gonna keep on making cords. I realized it might just be easier for me to do voiceovers for some of these DIY tutorial videos, so I'm measuring my pillows length and width from seam to seam and adding like 1 inch on both sides for my seam allowance. Then I cut out my fabric. I'm using the pattern fabric on one side and like a normal duck canvas on the other side just to save fabric because I don't have enough pretty fabric. So I'm just cutting that out, and I'm also cutting the corners at a 45-degree angle. I'll explain later why I do this. Now I'm going to add the piping around the pretty fabric, starting at the bottom because there's not going to be piping at the bottom. And I put the raw hems of the piping touching the raw hem of the pretty fabric.
and I do just a straight stitch all the way around, and then I take my scissors and I cut into the piping a little bit. When I have to go around corners, it just makes it more bendy. Now I'm going to put on a zipper. I'm not really going to tell you how to put a zipper on because I don't know how to put a zipper on. You just put on the zipper. I can't tell you everything. And if you see all the seam ripped thread excess because I messed up once, no, you don't. And yeah, so just, put on a zipper. If you Google it, you'll find a very nice lady showing you how to put on a zipper properly and not me pretending I know what I'm doing. So I put the zipper on one side, I open it up, and then I put the zipper on the other side. Yeah, okay. And you attach the zipper to the duck canvas and you hold it with your teeth before you put it in the machine. And then you put it through the machine the same way. Try not to sew the plastic teeth in your sewing machine because then the zipper won't work. Okay, and here is me showing that my zipper works. Important, open it up like 6 inches or so because you don't want to close this off with the zipper closed. It's annoying to open it. So I put the fabrics together, pretty sides together. I start at the bottom, pretty sides underneath, but that fabric is the fabric on top. I just sew right along the line. You'll see where the piping attached to this fabric, and you just sew over that again. Yeah, once again, this is not really a tutorial because I don't know what I'm doing, and you'll find someone else who will explain this better than me. But yeah. Okay, now here is that important piece where I can stick my hand through that opening, opening up the zipper the rest of the way, turn it right sides out, and I'm going to show off how good it looks because it does look really good. And then you're going to shove your cushion or pillow or whatever you're using into that case and zip it closed. And that's my tutorial on how to do this.
I got the pillows done really quickly, like under 2 hours, so I was very shocked by that. Making pillows really isn't that hard once you kind of get the hang of it. So I just want to show you the results and things I learned along the way. So I made 3 of them, but the first one I made kind of turned out with like pointy corners, which is a little bit dramatic. The next ones I made, I cut the corners so that they were more rounded. I am not redoing this one because I am gonna be the only one who notices that one of the pillows is not exactly like the others, and I don't care. This is just an IKEA couch and it looks better than it did before. So to show you the ones with the rounded corners, you can see it's a lot more rounded and smooth. Another thing I would have maybe done in hindsight is like picked out the patterns a little bit more intentionally, but I only had a tiny bit of fabric left. I kind of had to work with what I had. So it's not, the feng shui of the pattern is not quite there. It's a little bit repeating. But once again, I think I'm gonna be the only one who really focuses on that. And I have throw pillows and stuff that I also put on the couch. Other than that, yeah, I added zippers so that they are washable. I think that's really important for pillows. I just think they get kind of gross if you can't wash them. I hope you enjoyed another video. I also did a sewing video on making some Korean patchwork curtains, so if you want to see that video, that's also another sewing video that I have. So I hope you enjoyed and got to appreciate me changing these pillows. I think it makes the room look a lot more put together, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.